Hi, welcome to my video, narrated version, Jodi Arias Coping with Solitary Confinement. I'm not going to read the slides verbatim or word by word. My name is ToersBijns. I'm a former deputy warden in New Mexico and Arizona Department of Corrections. I'm just basically going to highlight how the sociopath that Jodi Arias is struggles to cope within a solitary confinement. The definition of Jodi Arias disorder, antisocial personality disorder, is one of those that have already been brought to our attention, but no matter which way you cut it, it total shows a total lack of regard for moral and legal standards in our culture. Now, our culture is going to change into a prison culture, so the severity is going to be impacted as well. She's going to have to refrain from being her natural self. In other words, if she's going to survive, she's going to have to be like a willow tree and bend in the wind, because if she stands like an oak, she'll break. Okay, it's just that, it's basically that simple. There's a thin line between sanity and insanity, and it depends on her own ability to control herself during these adversities. She has to maintain control with her actions. She's got to minimize conflict with staff. She's got to stop being overly demanding and obsessive. She has to admit that her manipulation tools are no longer available, that no personal relationships are possible, and that she'll suffer embarrassment from the corrections officers and the administration. But you gotta look on it from the positive side too. She'll be okay in the sense of where she is in time and place. She'll be lonely but safe. She'll be common but she'll blend in. If she takes her time and learn how to cope with the environment, she may actually come out of this okay, because she has the inner strength and the devious ability to survive. She's got to learn to live on the edge to stay alive. She has to remain cognizant of her environment, and she still needs to learn how to manipulate her environment. Not like in the jail. What she had in the jail is nothing like Perryville. And she needs to stop losing control, and she needs to stop any words or actions to say that she's going to harm herself. She'll have to tamper with time because it will stand still. She'll have to face a wall of fire. She's got to overcome animosity from the other prisoners. She's got to blend in. She's got to stop fighting the feeling of the environment. She's got to stop struggling with her own identity and just give it in for a while and defeat any feelings of hopelessness and despair. She's got to deal with the reality it won't go away. Time is going to be her biggest enemy. She'll experience frequent moments of negativity, and through her isolation, she'll feel the absence of people that were once in her life. Her ability to communicate is going to be disconnected. It's going to be an entirely different world for Jodi Arias, and she's going to feel like she's buried alive, hidden away somewhere in some dark corner in Perryville. Time will force her to either surrender or to keep fighting. Psychologically, she'll be buried under mass, concrete steel. Her soul will wither away, and even if alive, her spirit will erode away slowly. She will talk to herself and realize nobody's listening. All these things that I'm saying are contrary to what she's been used to all her life. She may need to fight to stay alive, but in the end, she will realize she's dying, because she's intelligent enough to know that in the reality, this is not going to end the way she wants it to end. She'll fall into patterns of thinking that are despair and agony. She'll think that death will come. However, death inside a prison does not come very fast unless one decides to end his own life. The system won't let you die, as the slow process is normal in this setting. It's a psychological death first, and you have to understand the difference of death. Psychological death, physical death. She'll experience pain, but in the end she'll realize that death comes to all, but no exceptions are made for persons that live and die in a place called Perryville. Remember, death means many different things. It doesn't mean a physical death. It could be a dying spirit. Her mind will be engaged, focused on doing something, but she'll find out there's not much she can do without the assistance of others. She'll be engaged in a psychological war against herself and others, and she might win some battles, but never the war. She'll be incarcerated for a long time. She's got to recognize her own limitations. She's got to be able to resolve her issues with compliance. She's got to control and self-control approach and response. receiving misconduct for more isolation. She's got to limit her con games, control to be impulsive to avoid attention and repeated thoughts of harm. She needs to understand that the better she copes and the better she behaves, the better of a chance of her surviving the initial 3 to 5 years and be able to rebound from this psychologically. She has to maintain a responsible attitude and address her behavior problems proactively and control her impulsiveness. She has the tools. We all know she has the tools. She's got the goodness and the charm. She's got manipulative skills and con game in her head. She needs to work on limiting her grandiose sense of self and pick the time and place. She's got to stop lying so much. Her audience is different. She's got to show remorse. She's got to play the game. She will change her image. She will have to change her image in order to avoid being targeted by correctional officers and administration, in order to survive and make the best of her situation. She attempts to circumvent rules and regulations to establish something that benefits her solely. Remember, I'm not a professional psychiatrist, and I'm not trained to diagnose anyone else. I'm just a former deputy warden who's observed many sociopaths on death row and in the special management units. I thank everybody. Please share this video.